Welcome to Strip Coverlet. I'm Adrian Fort.
And I'm Dalton Gentry.
And we're here with the latest entry in an ongoing series of Let's Torture Adrian for No Reason.
This is Adrian Reads Harry Potter. Harry Potter chapters 28 and 29 of the Goblet of Fire. Year 4. We made it through almost 4 books now. Aren't you proud of that fact?
Well, the thing that makes me proud is people are starting to respond by saying how they're not in love with Harry Potter anymore.
You broke it for them?
I did.
That's how you find pleasure in this, is ruining people's, childhoods?
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
We have chapters 28 and 29. 28 is the madness of Mr. Crouch. We find out that Winky is now apparently an alcoholic. We find out the third task is going to be a maze, and Barty Crouch returns and allegedly attacks Victor Crumb. Chapters 29, The Dream. No one has seen Barty Crouch since he attacked Crumb. He vanishes. Harry Potter has a vision in Professor Trelawney's classroom, and then he goes to see Dumbledore, because that's what Papa Sirius told him to do.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
No, I'm done now. I'm done.
Are you done with it?
Video's over.
I can at least say that I figured you'd be really excited to see that Winky is now an alcoholic.
Well, let's start there.
Okay.
On 536... Okay, first off, I want everything that I've ever said about house elves and this symbology to be just dancing in your head.
Okay.
Right? And listen to this. Harry looked over at the fireplace, too. Winky was sitting on the same stool as last time, but she had allowed herself to become so filthy that she was not immediately distinguishable from the smoke-blackened brick behind her. Her clothes were ragged and unwashed. She was clutching a bottle of butterbeer and swaying slightly on her stool, staring into the fire as they watched her, and she gave an enormous hiccup. Jesus Christ.
But Adrian, it may symbolize, racism, but it definitely doesn't symbolize black slavery.
I don't know. She was not immediately distinguishable from the smoke-blackened brick behind her. Now we're just putting caricatures into the literature, right? Yeah. I mean, that is a caricature. Go back to comedies from the 20s and 30s.
Oh yeah.
And how did all of the racist humor in those
turn on the news recently and see any frat party where somebody thought it was a good idea to go to the party in blackface. That's just a little bit racist. Just a slee bit racist.
Yeah, I don't understand. And here's the thing. You may have read this before and not thought much of it, right?
Yes.
It was just what it was. Don't be mad at me because J.K. Rowling is a closet racist.
Okay.
Don't be mad at me because J.K. Rowling is so ham-fistedly going at things that she can't help but say stupid shit. Don't hate me because J.K. Rowling is so clumsy and auteur that we get visions like this.
Okay. Well, that's a hell of a way to start out today's Harry Potter reading.
We're like a minute in.
I feel like you feel good about that. I do think it is interesting, though, that we are teaching, because, again, this is a novel for children, a novel for young readers, that if you have problems and you can't solve them, just get really, really drunk.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. I can approve of that because that is how I do things.
Yeah.
You should see me on a week when we have a lot to do for this channel. I just don't exist the week after. Anyway, we do find out that the third task is going to be a maze, which I think is a very important element here. Now, we've talked a lot about J.K. Rowling is using a lot of mythos from other...
Rowling.
I said it right for once. You give it to me. Just give me my Rowling. She uses a lot of mythos, right? We've got the mermaids, we have the hippogriff.
I'm excited to see what's going to be in this maze.
We literally have the labyrinth now. This is a gauntlet, this is the labyrinth, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But that is the third task, which is, always the big final conclusion task. The dangerous one is the labyrinth.
Yeah.
So I think we have some stuff to work with there. I'm excited to get your take on that once we get there. However, we also have the return of Barty Crouch. Any thoughts on that?
I don't have much right now. It is interesting to me that his reappearance was so close in proximity to Bagman
Okay.
being around. So I don't know if that's... I don't want to talk about any of the stuff you want to talk about.
Well, what would you like to talk about?
Okay. So when Hermione has been mangled by hate mail,
Yes.
we have this from Hagrid. "Ah, don't worry," said Hagrid, gently looking down at her. "I got some of those letters and all after Rita Skeeter wrote about my mum. You're a monster and you should be put down. Your mother killed innocent people, and if you had any decency, you'd jump in a lake." "No," said Hermione, looking shocked. "Yeah," said Hagrid, heaving the Niffler crates over by his cabin wall. "They're just nutters, Hermione. Don't open them if you get any more. Chuck them straight into the fire." You see, Dalton, we can't listen when they say these things to us. All these comment sections are just full of hatred. Why do you bobblehead?
I don't know.
Why do you bobblehead?
Is that what I'm supposed to be doing? I don't like people touching me. I tell you this every week.
Why do you think I touch you every week?
For those videos. But anyway, I think when we get talking about J.K. Rowling with this, and we've talked about Rita Skeeter, I'm really trying to correct myself. It's hard. We've talked about Rita Skeeter.
This is a learning opportunity.
Yes. Representing the possibility of J.K.'s first experience with the paparazzi. I think this is even more strengthened by this.
Yeah.
Because she got hate mail. There was a big movement when Harry Potter first came out of, people from our area of the United States mainly, saying that this is devil worship and this is witchcraft and Satan's literature. So she got hate mail about it.
It's not Satan's literature.
It's Satan's literature.
It's just bad.
I actually, when this book came out, my little sister had a friend whose parents told my parents without any question, when she's at the house, we cannot watch Harry Potter, we cannot talk about it.
Oh, yeah, that was rampant.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was not just your friend. I didn't have friends. But
You didn't have friends.
About it.
But no, we can't talk about the Satan's literature.
Yeah.
But anyway, this does seem like J.K. Rowling is attempting to say, hey, got a lot of hate mail, and it hurts.
Yeah.
It literally would cause blisters for Hermione, but hate mail sucks. I mean, it's good to know people are watching or reading, however you want to say it, but hate mail sucks.
Oh, who gives you hate mail? Everyone loves Dalton.
Yeah, everybody loves Dalton.
He's the cuddly bear.
Yeah. What I love about this is everybody loves Dalton until he says something they disagree with, and they're like, nope, you're a fucking idiot. I don't like you. That's okay. Anyway, what else would you like to talk about since I'm not allowed to have opinions this week?
Dalton, it turns out I have big news.
Okay, go on.
As you've read in these chapters,
All right.
electronics do not work on Hogwarts campus.
This is true. Too much magic.
So they don't have electronics on campus.
Yes.
It turns out you're currently sitting in Hogwarts. This is a satellite campus. Campolite.
Okay.
A satellite campus, sure.
All right.
But this is Hogwarts. And I am a magical being.
Okay.
Worship me.
No. Now, see, you're just going to have me telling stories. That's all this week's going to be, is telling stories. I came here one day, and Adrian's like, I got to pay my electric bill before we get started. I'm like, okay, that's weird. He's like, I haven't paid it in like 3 months. It's overdue. I'm like, do you need some money or something? He's like, no, it's like $10. What? Really?
Yeah, I don't have electronics.
Yeah, the $10 worth of lamplight and a refrigerator. That's it. But anyway, no, that I would like to imagine at this point a lot of people are questioning, where is the place of electronics in the wizarding world?
Yeah.
And J.K. Rowling just said, hey, I'm gonna smush it right here.
Yeah.
They don't exist because magic interferes with them.
Well, what year would this have been? This would have been
2004-ish,
right? So the internet was really kicking into... Oh, this was 2000? 2003? Nope, that 2000. Text in 2000.
Okay.
So the internet was...
In its infancy.
Yeah, in its infancy here. By 2004 it was really kicking into gear, but here it's in its infancy. Also, I just realized, when we get... There's so much representation in this novel, right?
Okay.
So much representation that they had to knock out the one woman in the tournament prior to the final. She's the only one that's failed anything.
Okay.
Is the one female.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about representation?
I would like to say, this just popped into my head. Electronics don't work around magic, right?
Yeah.
Where is the next movie set? Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them?
United States?
New York City.
Oh.
So I would like to see if that holds true, or if they just forgot about that line. Because...
Well, I think that she says there's so much magic.
Oh, maybe it is.
So,
so
I imagine that one lone, strange-looking Eddie Redmayne running around the streets. He looks like Benedict Cumberbatch's slightly better-looking cousin.
Okay.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but okay, I give it to you.
I don't know why you have to say these things. I'm right.
Harry Potter had a vision. And it was in Professor Trelawney's class.
Yeah.
Where the air was filled with incense and smoke. And it was awfully hot in there, and he was sweating. Seeing any connections here with possible mythos from another culture?
Native American culture?
Sounds an awful lot like it to me.
Okay.
Where do you go to have the vision? You go to the sweat lodge.
Yeah.
Where it's hot, you cleanse yourself. There's obviously a lot of smoke rolling around in there. But Trelawney even says it herself. This is what inspired it. My environment inspired this. Because it is easier to have a revelation in this. So I keep trying to push, good things for J.K. Rowling, and I think the inclusion of mythos from other cultures is a good thing. So it makes it a little more realistic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Little elements here and there.
Okay.
You don't care about it.
Nope.
All right, what would you like to talk about? Excuse me.
I've made a big deal about this being a metaphor for how the baby boomers felt inheriting the world after World War II, right?
Okay.
You've got this lost generation and things like that. We've got this quote on 561 to 562.
Okay.
Treachery, he bellowed, pointing at Dumbledore. It is a plot. You and your Ministry of Magic have lured me here under false pretenses, Dumbledore. This is not an equal competition. First you sneak Potter into the tournament, though he is underage. Now one of your Ministry friends attempts to put my champion out of action. I smell double dealing and a corruption in this whole affair. And you, Dumbledore, you with your talk of closer international wizarding links, of rebuilding old ties, of forgetting old differences. Here is what I think of you. That sounds a lot like Germany and NATO, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we are going to get into the workings of the Ministry a lot in the next book.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out that things are sometimes not as good as they seem when you start talking about your government.
Right.
So I think it is very interesting to keep that idea going of how the baby boomers inherited the world after World War II. I think we're going to find a lot more elements throughout this. So that is a good thing. A good thing to keep in the back of the mind there. What else would you like to yell at me about? Because I'm not allowed to have opinions.
Well, along those same lines, we've got the line from Harry Potter when he received this letter from Sirius. Who is Sirius to lecture me, right?
Yes.
Sirius was into all sorts of trouble.
He's rebelling.
Well, before the bomb, before the big bad,
Okay.
rebelling and being a bit of a prick weren't such a big deal, were they?
Okay.
Was it a big deal for there to be a wayward nation before anyone had a clear and decisive advantage over another? Right?
Okay.
So little things here and there weren't as large as they are in the post-World War era.
Well, if you do look at saying Sirius would be someone who was in the World War era, and Harry Potter being the younger, maybe coming from the 40s, 50s generation, that was a generation of rebellion against the status quo, and saying, hey, our parents went off and killed.
Yeah.
And did everything. Who's to say we can't cause a little hell here at home? But I think it is good that Harry Potter does now have a father figure, which you would imagine he would rely on for advice and wisdom. And he does heed his advice, I guess, but runs straight to Dumbledore. We're going to start seeing a lot more of Dumbledore now, and I think that's really important. It's really interesting because this is a man we don't know much about. His eccentricities are still there. They're not as huge as they were in the first book, but he is a very interesting character, and I think his backstory is going to be very interesting to you. And we're going to just have to get into it.
Wait, whose backstory?
Dumbledore.
Okay.
Now,
So we do get that.
We're going to get there eventually,
Okay.
yes.
I didn't know if we'd ever get that.
God, see, I want to bring up things right now that I'm like, I really just want to ask your opinion on this right now, see how this character reads to you, but I can't.
Okay.
So I'm just pissed and frustrated right now. But we'll get there. We will get there, I promise.
Okay, so Harry Potter, along these same lines.
Okay.
Harry Potter has this scar, right?
Yes.
That has been put on him by the Dark Lord.
Yes.
What is the curse that makes that scar hurt? Do you
What is
remember?
the curse that makes
the
that
word
scar?
that made that scar hurt?
Go on.
Crucio, right?
No.
What did Crucio do?
Crucio is one of the unforgivable curses. Voldemort was using Crucio on Wormtail.
But when he hears that in the dream, that's when his scar starts hurting.
Usually any time he has a dream or some recollection of Voldemort, his scar hurts. It is really a far stretch to say Crucio made his scar hurt. But where were you going if it was?
Well, it's obviously a derivative of the word crucifix, right?
Okay.
So he's been marked with this scar that the word crucifix makes hurt.
Okay.
Which is, the Jews were scarred in World War II.
Very true.
With religious, right? Due to their religion.
Yes.
So,
and that is something we haven't really commented on before, that this character who has, come from the generation after World War II, that's the argument we've been making, is quite literally scarred by the Dark Lord himself.
Yeah.
His parents were killed by the Dark Lord, and he survived the Dark Lord's torture, and now he permanently is scarred by it. So, take that how you want it.
Right.
But there's a lot going on with that there. Anything else you really want to talk about here before
I've got one more point.
Okay.
So you can go on whatever and this unrelated, so you can go on whatever...
I always make it a point to, bring up little things that I want to try to get you to pick at, because if I get you to pick at it, sometimes you just have these genius moments that people love.
That's what I do.
How you feeling about Mad-Eye Moody? How you feeling about Snape? We're seeing a lot of interaction from those two characters recently.
I think that there is... Look, they had the confrontation in the hallway when Mad-Eye stuck up for Harry, but he did not attack Snape, right?
Okay.
So I think that for some reason, I think that between Dumbledore trusting him, you've got to trust Dumbledore's opinions, Dumbledore likes Snape, and Mad-Eye Moody not outright attacking the guy.
Okay.
Snape's not a bad guy.
Okay.
I think that Snape is Harry's father.
Okay.
And he's hard. It's tough love.
Tough love?
Yeah.
From Harry's dad.
From Harry's
Snape's
dad.
Harry's dad.
Snape's Harry's father.
Snape is James Potter.
No, he's not James Potter.
Okay.
He had an affair with Harry's mother.
Okay.
And impregnated Harry's mother.
Okay.
James died not knowing that it was not his son.
Interesting.
Right? Which was why then afterwards, because his mother was the last to die.
Yes.
After that's gone, she knows the boy has to live, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, all of this drama would have been for naught.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think it's pretty obvious.
You think so?
Yeah. So leave in the comments below how stupid Dalton is for thinking that.
Okay. What is your last point? Because I am tired of humoring you in this video.
What a crock of fucking shit.
What?
What a crock of fucking shit that the only two industrious characters in this entire fucking universe,
Fred and George.
Fred and George, are made out to be fiendish, right?
Yes.
They're the fiendish money men.
Yes.
Right? What a crock of fucking shit. Go ahead and hit the dislike button because I'm cursing in a Harry Potter.
But here's
movie.
the thing. If you look at it from an outsider standpoint, anytime somebody takes a skill that they are good at and they say, this is what we're passionate about, this is what we want to do, we want this to be our living, we want this to be able to sustain our lifestyle, there's always a little bit of negative feedback.
Is there? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? This is J.K. Rowling saying, oh, look at me, I am a writer. I'm going to make money off of it. Right?
There's always negative feedback. And where does that negative feedback usually come from? Your family. Yes?
But this isn't just the... No. Not the feedback. Not the feedback, goddammit. The fact that they are trying to blackmail someone.
Okay.
These are the industrious characters. And because they were poor... and they want to use their skills and their passions to earn a living, oh, well, we might as well blackmail someone, yes? Because they're industrious, all of a sudden they're evil. It's just stupidity.
I think that will be cleared up eventually.
Well, no wonder Harry Potter is such a fucking soggy tissue of a protagonist, right? Because if he had anything extraordinary, J.K. Rowling would have to tear him down.
Okay.
Right? Well, Victor Crumb. I'm going to make this character who's very good at Quidditch, but he's a fucking moron. I'm going to make these two characters who are extremely industrious, but they're fucking thieves. I'm going to
Okay.
make Snape, who is word by word letter of the law. But he's a fucking weirdo.
Well, we've made the argument many times before that Harry Potter is not a hero. He is just a hero of circumstance.
Well, he's just here.
He's in the right place at the right time.
He's not a hero. He's a here or there, right?
Well, that's the thing. Every time that anything goes right with Harry Potter, he either A, has help,
Yeah.
or I'm going to say A or 2 because I like doing that, or 2, he just happens to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. And because of that, he gets to be a hero here.
Yes.
Because the minute you show any initiative in J.K. Rowling's world, you're the bad guy. You're the villain.
Okay.
Right?
I think so.
Name one person with any type of drive or motivation here that is not bad.
Dobby.
Okay, Dobby's not a bad guy, but do you want to be Dobby?
Nobody wants to be Dobby.
Right?
Most people are Dobby, though. That's the beautiful thing, but nobody wants to be
Also,
Dobby.
Dobby's drive is to be submissive.
Yes, but Dobby's drive is to be different from his perceived what he's supposed to be.
Dobby wants to be free,
Yes.
but his drive is to be submissive.
Okay.
I just want my sock.
I really
After I got my sock, yeah, I'll do the same shit I was doing before. It's fine.
I really just threw that out there because I was, trying to spitball somebody who I'm like, who is the least, aggressive, the least, you can't hate Dobby.
And so the biggest hero in the novel so far, arguably, is Dumbledore, right?
Okay.
He's the biggest good guy, right? What is Dumbledore's attitude? Oh, I don't know. I kind of like Snape. We'll keep him around.
All right.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like Mad Eye. We'll keep him around. Oh, I don't know. I kind of like the werewolf guy. He might endanger children, but we'll keep him around. Right?
I like to imagine when people watch these videos, they start foaming at the mouth and pause it, and they're like, what the hell is he saying? How dare he?
Well, he's... Dumbledore's a shaking leaf in the wind as well.
Okay. All right.
He might have convictions, we don't ever see them. So the second biggest good guy in the book is Hagrid, right?
All right.
What's the one time we've seen Hagrid really act aggressively?
In this chapter,
Yeah.
he grabs Karkaroff by the throat.
Mm-hmm. And then Dumbledore says, no, don't do that. You're being too aggressive. We need to calm down.
I'm really excited once we finally finish this series to have an Adrian wraps up Harry Potter so he can make his final claims on all the characters. Because there is change in character, as there should be in a 7-book series. But we will get there.
Okay,
Yeah?
so there's change in characters through the 7-book series, right?
Okay.
We are...
Book 4.
We are 5/7 through book 4.
Yep.
Who's changed?
Well, nobody so far, but we'll get there.
No one so far has changed?
Who would you argue has changed?
No one, absolutely no one.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. But what happens? Because no one changes, because no one is capable of change, we have to keep introducing new bad guys.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
You have to bring new characters in and make them bad or good.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay.
Defend, Dalton. Defend.
Well, here's the thing. You say defend, but sometimes when you're right, you're right. So.
Well, yeah, but you're going to be hearing it in the comment, because I don't read the comments for this series, so I don't get spoilers. So you're going to be the one taking it on the backside in the comments.
You're going to be really pissed when, once we finish this series, you go back to look at all the comments, and you see our reply just, okay. Okay. I'll tell him.
Yeah, because I know you've said things before that we've gotten.
Yes.
Right?
Every now and then we get a zinger, and I like to bring it up for you.
They're never that good, so the challenge is on. But, there's not much here.
Okay. Well, if you would like to see us get through the rest of this series, we do Adrian Reads Harry Potter every Wednesday. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of that lovely, lovely train wreck there. And hit the like button down below because God knows we need sympathy likes for this one.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at StripCover and on Facebook at StripCoverLit.
And now I know my